Hello Sagittarius friends, how are you? Welcome to your May 2017 love reading. Before I begin, we need to have a little heart-to-heart. You can skip forward through to the reading if you want, but I need to deliver a very sincere message to you because I was inundated with a barrage of emails last month after I did my general readings. And I just need to get a couple things straight with you, okay? Because it was all from Sagittarius. Normally, like, I get these types of emails from Virgo all the time, and it's like, Virgo, okay, whatever. But when the Sagittarius is mad at you or projects anger onto you, I think maybe you've done something wrong and it's time to really self-reflect. So, first of all, I have no ill will toward the sign of Sagittarius. That seems a little weird. I don't know why people are saying that. My best friends in the world are Sagittarians. They're the most amazing people. I have not been hurt by a Sagittarius. I have not been, you know, no, I don't know. I just, my readings are here with the purest of intent of purely providing insight. Period. That's it. I pull the cards and my intuition tells me what to say, and I say it. That's it. You guys have been going through so much. You guys have Saturn retrograde in your sign, which is really tough. We all have had the Venus retrograde a couple months ago. Now Mercury, Jupiter, I think Pluto's also retrograde or something like that. So there's a lot going on in the sky, and it's hard, and it's been hard. And I just want you guys to know that these readings really do come from a place of like trying to help. Okay, I'm a Libra. I want everyone to be happy. I'm not a Libra, I'm a Libra ascending. But I mean, I identify with that part of Libra where I really want everyone to be happy, but I'm not going to deliver a pony and roses reading just because I want you to be happy. I'm going to try to be truthful and trust my intuition, okay? So I love you guys. I had no intention of being, I don't know, aggressive last month or whatever it was. But I hope that I had to really psych myself up to do this reading today, and I got my feel-good music, got myself in the most positive mindset. But at the end of the day, whatever cards I pull are the cards that I pull, and it just kind of is what it is. So here we go. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? I hope you're ready. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the Sagittarius, May 2017 love energies. Okay, let's go. Sagittarius. Hierophant reversed. See? Like, come on. I'll explain that in just a minute, but that's the first card I pulled. You guys are going through hard stuff, and it just is what it is. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, Nine of Wands. Yes, I pulled that out last time too. I remember. Ace of Wands. Three of Swords. Hero of Coins. Six of Swords. The High Priestess and the Five of Swords. Okay. As truthfully as I can, from a place of love, a place of understanding, okay? The Hierophant in reverse, all right? Look, there's no doubt in my mind, and this, like, as soon as I said Saturn retrograde, it's like, bing, right here in the center. You are being challenged in all aspects and all areas of life. However, in your relationships and your dating life, depending on if you're single or in a relationship, or just kind of dating, or you kind of have an apple of your eye type of thing, you are, okay, big picture, what do I want in my life? Huge questions. And I think you're really challenging the traditional mode somehow. Okay, the path that you were originally on is now like, is that really what I wanted? And because the Hierophant speaks to conformity and tradition, it speaks to the bigger aspects of life, you know, cultural conformity, all sorts of things, society, your place in society. And when it's challenged, that's you challenging those things. Am I really doing what I should be doing? And what, you know, if you're totally single and you're like, I was really steadfast, trying to be single, trying to do my thing, and trying to really focus on me, but your heart's kind of opening. And on the flip side, if you're in a relationship, you could be like, yeah, I was on this track to get married, but now I'm like considering if this is really the path for me, or if this is really what I want. You're kind of throwing a lot of people for a loop too. I think the people around you, I don't necessarily see specifically mixed signals. I don't think you're doing that. But it's kind of a little bit of, well, you just thought this is what you wanted, but now you've just kind of changed your mind, or you're considering changing your mind. But you also don't want to let people down, you know? You are a caring, loving, loyal sign. You don't want to disappoint people. People don't want to be disappointed by you, and they don't want to disappoint you. So you have a lot of love around you and a lot of people that care about you, but you really need to let people know what's going on. Here's the 9 of Wands. Okay, 9 of Wands is a card of, first of all, a card of courage, okay? And let's not discount the positive messages here. Let's try to keep it positive. It is a card of courage, and I do feel on some level that you're kind of in this fight alone. And no one can live your life for you. You have to be the one that lives your life. So if it means a heartbreak, which I have the 3 of Swords here, if it means a heartbreak, then it means a heartbreak. If it's you having to break someone else's heart or someone else breaking your heart, you are in healing. Some of you may have ended a relationship. Some of you may be considering ending a relationship. Hierophant in the center, it's that end of the commitment, okay, or end of that institution. I see you with this such a strong desire to break free, and I love the Fool in this deck. It is Orpheus emerging from the shade, from the underworld, and how like he's so ferociously, you know, if you know the story, he's not supposed to look back. Otherwise, Hades will keep his wife or his girlfriend. And before he thought that he was out of the shade, but he looked back. And so he took her and kept her in the underworld. So now they're separated. So now he's, I mean, it's kind of like a place from anger, right? So now he's left alone, and he has to start his whole life over again. And that's kind of what you're doing. Like, you've shed the skin and you've started this whole new chapter in your life, and you are kind of emerging in quite of an aggressive manner. Hero of Coins, like, but not bad aggressive, but like fighting aggressive. Like, okay, I've got a whole new set of challenges. I've got a whole new chapter of my life, and let's freaking get going. Let's get going. Because I think you're tired of standing still. You're tired of being in this like, ugh, place. And you have this ferocity of the Fool, just like, ugh. And that's a beautiful thing. We just had Venus enter Aries. So it makes sense that you have these energies. A lot of us do, because we're like jumping on it, getting all over it. And especially in terms of love, we're like, you know what? I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to do what everyone expects me to do. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it. And if you are in a relationship, like I said, there may be some disappointing conversation that you're going to have with your partner, and you're going to have to maybe let them down a little bit easy. But it's important for them to recognize and them to acknowledge that you kind of are, you have this track. And not to say that you don't want them to come along with you, but it's kind of their choice. Like, you are dedicated, and you are a very, like, once Sagittarius sets their mind to something, it's like full on. So take it or leave it kind of thing, right? And I'm not going to say you're not considerate of them, but we do have the 3 of Swords, and you are tackling your life. You are tackling the things that you're no longer happy with. You are taking care of it. And something has happened. Ace of Wands is coming into your cards. Ace of Wands is a new opportunity. It's a new chance. It's a new direction, okay? It's a new passion kind of entering your life. And you are like, you are going after it. You're hitting it hard. It's so important for you to let people in on this though. Like you can't just make up your mind and just go without informing others, because again, you have this Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is like, I mean, just look at the image. She's not, look how closed off she is. Very protective, very quiet, very unwilling to speak. She's got the dark navy blue, you know, midnight blue robes. I mean, there's secrets involved here, and I have the High Priestess, kind of the foundational card. So there are secrets, there are things that are going unsaid, there are heartbreaks around you, or maybe you are going through a heartbreak yourself, but you're not just sitting down and just taking it anymore. You're like, okay, my life needs to change. I need something different. I need something else. And there's no looking back, because now I can't look back, because what's done is done. What was said. And I have a whole new life in front of me now, right? And there was disappointment in the past. There was sadness. Some of you are getting over probably a really significant heartbreak. You are moving on. This concerns me a little bit, and I'll know a little bit more when I pull out more cards. This is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords speaks to energies of battles not worth fighting. And because there is such aggressive energy here, and when I say aggressive, I don't mean, you know, like you are yelling at people. I don't mean that you are being mean to people or anything like that. I just mean that your approach to life is aggressive, and your decisions are quick. You are doing what you got to do, and you're not settling for just whatever, right? No, like you are officially trying to make stuff happen. Okay? I think you're coming out of that denial a little bit, because you had a message the last couple months of being in denial and really not acknowledging things. And I don't know if it was not acknowledging things about yourself, about your own personality, or about your own direction in life, or if it was about other people or a significant other. But I think you are coming out of that denial. There seems to be a shattering of illusions during these monthly readings, and I'm not necessarily seeing that here, but I do feel inspired to say it. Like whatever delusions we have in our mind, we are now starting to accept the reality. And that's kind of the essence of the Fool, right? Like he looked back and his wife is now gone, and now he's forced to just only look ahead, because that's all he can do. And so you just move ahead, and you're looking in that mirror, and you're forced to see what's in the mirror. And I've said this for a couple other signs as well. Look in the mirror, and that is the reality. You're being forced to look in the mirror. Yes, this happened. Three of Swords, heartbreak, sadness, sorrow, grief. Yes, it happened. But you're moving forward, and I see forward movement now. Like I don't see you being so stuck. I see you being still maybe a little bit guarded and a little bit, protective. But I don't see you being stuck. If anything, I see movement here with the Six of Swords, which is really promising. You learned lessons over the last few months. You learned lessons, and now you are moving from point A to point B. And you're not going to be tempted by things anymore. This is sirens trying to lure the sailors. And you're not going to be tempted by things. You're not going to be suckered into stuff, I guess, is really kind of what I want to say. Your intuition is speaking to you. I do feel like there are things that are going unsaid. There are secrets. Actually, what's my time at? Okay. There are secrets being kept. So be cognizant of what it is that you're not saying, and also be cognizant of if what you're not saying is hurting someone. Maybe not. It might not be, but if it is, just be aware that it might be hurting someone. Okay, let's keep moving. Been blabbing a little bit too much. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. And the Four of Swords. Look, you guys need a break. I think you have really got the brunt of what we're going through just because Saturn retrograde is in Sagittarius. And that's hard, and you do need a break. A lot of people need a break to reflect, because without reflection, then those experiences that you had are a little bit on the meaningless side, or they are a little bit pointless, right? But they're not pointless. They were important things that you went through. So to take a break, whether it is a little vacation, Six of Swords can indicate travel, short distance travel, a little bit of travel, or a getaway, or a spa weekend or something, or, you know, going to visit a family member, and, you know, just allowing your mind to just kind of be quiet and find a zen a little bit if you can, and just allow lessons and allow things to really wash over you. I feel like you're afraid of being tricked, afraid of being fooled, or being made a fool, made to look like a fool. Ten of Cups reverse on top of the Three of Swords. That's very clearly that your illusions were shattered. Very clearly that you, Ten of Cups on the Three of Swords. Very clearly that you had some ideal. Where's the glare? Some ideal, some idea, some, you know, hope that did not come to fruition. And you're not the only sign that has that energy. A lot of signs had all these expectations and they all just fell flat. Again, you're forced to look in the mirror now, because it just is what it is. And as much as we would like to have this, the universe does not give us the things that we want just to make us angry, right? Or just to make us be disappointed. It makes us not have the things that we think we want because it has something else in store for us. And I know that you're afraid of, it's like you have this aggression towards stuff, but yet you still are a little bit reserved in the actual doing of things with the Magician reverse, because you are afraid of maybe it happening again. You are afraid of, again, like I said, being made a fool of, or looking foolish, or being vulnerable. There is a sense that you don't want to be vulnerable, because in some ways you are vulnerable. Five of Coins on top of the Hero of Coins. Now, maybe someone rejected you, maybe someone pushed you off to the wayside, and that's been really hard to really deal with. It's been hard to handle. Or maybe you were the one that had to push someone else aside, or to reject someone. And I know you care. I know that if you were the one that rejected someone, that you care about that person. And it wasn't that you specifically, it was just that things just didn't line up. Things just didn't make sense. Like I said, there was, oh, I don't think I pulled that card. I thought I did. I was thinking Seven of Wands. But, you know, things were working against you, and there were roadblocks, and there were things that just didn't quite, I don't know, it just wasn't right, you know? And if you're married, the track that you were on, it just wasn't right. And you're having to push the reset button, the reboot button. And with the moon, like, here's the Fool and the moon. The Fool emerges and is like left to face in this big fat question mark. I call the moon the question mark of the tarot. This big question mark of where are we going? What's the purpose? What's the meaning? But having faith, right? You are being watched by angels. I love this moon card so much because there is an angel there. There is a presence around you. You're not being misguided. You're doing exactly what you should be doing. Like, have faith and rest assured. Maybe that's what you need to know so that you can rest. Rest assured, rest peacefully, knowing that you are where you're supposed to be, even though it probably doesn't feel like it. It feels probably like you messed up, or it feels probably like someone else messed up, or like there's been a significant disappointment. And, you know, I also think that you're afraid of either misjudging a situation, misjudging the opportunities that are kind of coming your way. But more likely it's just not really able to see that end point, not able to see where it's all going, because you have, like I said, if you go left, you go right. Well, that's great to have the option, but what's at the end of either one of those? Because you need to know what's at the end in order to make the decision. And I think you're just having a hard time seeing where this is all going, or seeing where it's going to end up. The Knight of Cups. I feel that this is you. I don't know why I feel that that's you. It could be someone else. Let me sit on that for just a minute, because I'm seeing like you following your heart. But then I'm also seeing, so Six of Swords is about movement from here to here, spiritual development and that kind of thing. So I'm seeing that you are following your heart by going from point A to point B. But because this card, Artisan of Cups, came out on top of the Six of Swords, I'm feeling like the Artisan of Cups is the destination, and that there is someone on the other side for you. Now, you've had a presence around you for a very long time. I don't know who it is. Okay, I really, really don't. But I think that there has been someone around you that has been observing you, maybe watching you being in a relationship with someone else. Whether or not anything will happen with this person, like I was very hopeful for several months that it would, because I think that this person is a very quality person for you. But maybe it's someone you either already rejected, or someone that, you know, you don't get the feelings from, or, you know, whatever. But they care about you a lot. They want to hear from you. They want to see you. They want engagement with you. But they're not going to open that door, because they're watching you from a distance and saying, okay, they're going through something, and I understand that, and I can't interrupt that process, because for us to ever have a chance, they need to get through that. They need to move through it. And I don't want to be like the rebound, or I don't want to be the person that they come to just for comfort, and then they confide in me and then they go find someone else. You know, like they too are very smart, and they too are very guarded as well. So I'm seeing it as both you following your heart, moving from point A to point B, but also someone at point B, at your destination of wherever it is you're going. So if you have ended a relationship, you broke up with someone, or if you're single even, there is someone, there's a presence, it's lingering, it's been lingering for a very long time. Six of Wands in the reversal. I kind of feel like there is a sense of failure, and I don't know why. Maybe because, you know, you cared so much for someone, and that kind of idea sort of flat tired on you. There's no need for you to feel a sense of failure. It really is kind of a launch pad for you. I'm seeing this Three of Coins. I'm so happy this came out, because where you were is going to be leveraged for where you're going. There's a big message of transition here. There's a big message of transformation, but I think that this is kind of a pivot month for you, where you'll actually kind of start emerging on the other side of that transformation. I think you've been stuck in the transformation mode for several months, And now you've reached that pivot point where it's been dark, 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 getting darker, I guess, and now it's starting to get lighter. You're still at the dark part of that getting lighter, but it is getting lighter nonetheless. And the Three of Coins is a promise of that you are headed for bigger and better projects. And I love that this is about craftsmanship, okay, and the Pentacles, that's what they're about. Creativity and craftsmanship. And I see this huge, statue and someone carving. And, when you really think about it, we're all artists of our own life. And so we're only as good as our last project, because that last project is going to get us to our next project. And you have bigger and better things in store for you. It's really important for you not to fester. You're not really known for festering. You are a pretty forward moving sign, which is great. If it was like a Pisces reading, I'd be a little bit concerned, but you're not really known to fester, but you do have a very significant depth to you. Sagittarians, they do retreat at times, and they can be very, very quiet. It's the philosopher part of you, which is beautiful, but it does kind of lend to kind of staying where you are if you allow yourself to stay where you are. I don't see that you will, but there may be a desire or a tendency, because I think that you really were disappointed, and I think that you really are sad that this didn't work out the way you had hoped. And you do still care about that person, and you do still want to see the best for that person, and you do still love them. It just didn't work out, and maybe they're having a hard time understanding that. Maybe you're having a hard time understanding that. But you are moving, you are moving now. There's not a lot of that stuck energy. And, like I said, that Saturn retrograde is going to be lasting till August. So there may still be a couple months ahead of you where you feel like movement's not really on your side, but you are moving whether or not you can see it or not. So, okay, I'm going to leave you with that. I wish you nothing but the best this month. Yes, hopefully it speaks to you or provides some insight for you in some way, all right? That's it. All right, thanks so much. Bye.